right. So next, we're going to have greetings from Liz Moffitt and Kerry Burke. And they were students in the first class of graduates who both became longtime faculty members. Both Liz and Kerry took a turn at coordinating the program, but we have Liz to thank for coordinating through the creation of the Bachelor of Music Therapy degree, the first in Canada. Liz is also the first primary trainer in GIM in Canada and received an honorary doctorate and faculty emeritus from Capilano University. So when she received that, I set up a bursary in her name to support music therapy students. And I'm going to put the information into chat so you have the details if you'd like to contribute to that bursary as part of your giving this season. All right, Kevin, would you please cue up Liz and Kerry's video?
I'd like to welcome Liz, who has just joined us while you were introducing her.
Oh, great. Hi, Liz.
Where's Liz? Hey, Liz,
sorry, everybody. There we are. My computer unplugged unexpectedly. I'm sorry. And also, we are going to have to leave shortly, but Kerry and I, at the late of night again, put together a little video so that we could share with you. So I imagine that that's probably more appropriate, but I do want to just say hi and goodbye, but it's just wonderful to be witnessing this and this amazing 45 years. And I'm sorry, I will watch the recording. And thank you, Sue, again, for initiating this bursary, and however we can help this grow so more people can have some financial support for training, the better. So thank you again. And I have a couple of minutes, so I don't know what you want to do. If I could just speak a little bit, or do you want me to just stop and you just use the video at the appropriate time for whatever you want?
Your video is next, but it's up to you. We'd love to hear more from you.
In person. Well, okay, I'll just say very briefly, you know, it's going from what Nancy was talking about, that I think that for 45 years, we have attracted innovators since that initial vision of Nancy and Carolyn's CAP, and adventurers, because we know that we're all, every one of us is heading into the path untraveled and from the very start to create a profession in terms of jobs and guidelines and all the work and let alone the reading. And now, you know, advanced training is what we offer now compared to those early years of the very beginnings, that term by term, as you'll hear, we didn't know if it was going to carry on from one term to the next. And I'm seeing some of the old timers here who will no doubt share some of their history as well of those amazing times. And again, to just highlight the thread of the values of this program go throughout, you know, from what Nance was just saying about the value of who we each are as individual human beings, and that is at the core of the essence of the program, is all the way through. And also the practical aspect of knowing how to walk your talk, not just reading about it and philosophizing and passing exam papers and doing research, but actually getting in there and working in the field and learning how hard it is and learning the joys of it. And that has always been at the foundation of our program, as well as the creative spirit, you know, the creative arts, that creativity. So I'm going to leave you now, and I'm sorry to leave so early, but it's just so lovely to see all these faces. And you're going to see Kerry and me in just a second on video. So thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Liz. We love you and Kerry.
It's been such It's an honor. You'll notice I've been retired now for 12 years from the program, and I still talk about we and us. It's in my genes, and probably for all of you as well. Bye.
I,
Is it going?
Going.
Hi, everybody. Happy 45th anniversary to Capilano University.
Where did the time go?
My goodness. We're sorry that we can't be with you for very long today. So Sue Baines asked if we would be willing to do a little video of our memories of the beginnings of the program and also the changes over the years that we have each witnessed.
Luckily, we have some memories of that time. Boy, it was an amazing, amazing time. I mean, it was the 70s. It was bell bottoms. It was encounter groups. And all of a sudden, we heard of this program that was combining things that we loved, music and working with people, and maybe getting a job, although that seemed kind of sketchy at the time. And boy, there were some interesting things that happened in those 2 years.
Yeah.
Very interesting
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Lots of personal growth.
Yep.
Lots of encountering other people's pain and suffering and your own. And lots of ways of finding ways to use music to reach all kinds of different populations I'd never heard of. It was really stunning. What drew you to the program?
Right. Yes. I mean, we were such a different group of, I think, close to 20 people that are still have been very involved in the music therapy community here, like Doreen Alexander and Mary Rare and Joan Becko, and the following year Kay Thompson and Mary Rykoff and Laurie Greenwood started up the drumbeat. And so many of us were just risk takers. We heard of this new program combining music and therapy. I picked up the phone. A friend of a friend had suggested that I contact somebody named Carolyn Kenny. I didn't know of her at all. Of course, she was the co-founder, along with our Nancy, of the program. And she shared her ideas about imagery and creative arts and music and combining as a therapeutic modality. And it just seemed to click for me. It was like, okay, I'm in. I did an audition in the music department later on. I had to be able to show that I had some musical skills, and that was it. I was in, and
It was easy
up
to
and
get
going.
in at that time. I mean, it was a lot of people. There were 20 people altogether.
Yeah.
And nobody really was intent on getting a job, although it was in the career department. Nobody had ever heard of music therapy, and I think there were like 3 or 4 people working in town. That was it.
At most. I
At
think there might have
most.
only been Susan Wu out at Riverview.
Well, Karen Crawford.
And Karen was working at Woodlands, yes, but she wasn't calling herself a music therapist as trained.
And she was in the program.
Yeah.
And boy, it was just hours and hours of improvisation and creative arts and singing and role playing and what was that called? Psychodrama.
Yeah.
That was, and group dynamics.
With Paul Avery,
We
who was there
sweated.
from the start.
There were
Yeah.
incredible high highs and
Yeah.
low lows.
Yeah.
Just like you might imagine. And I used to read both books in the library from time to time.
I think there were a few more than that, but it certainly demonstrates the limitations of those early years, where actually the practicum students were out there through all of our work, that we were creating a profession in the city through demonstrating what could be done with music. And it was the beginnings of growing work locations. So there weren't any. We had to go and make them happen by demonstrating and just showing what might happen with music therapy. And you know, that it was such an alive time, as Kerry was saying. with all the personal work, all the creative arts, all the foundation of the program that was based on personal process, personal exploration as a metaphor and as an example of what we would take then when we go and work with respect and understanding with all of our clients. And that practice was really important. I think our program was quite unique in that we had a lot of practical experience in the program, that it was really founded on that. And this deep respect for the inner journey in everyone. And I think that that still is absolutely pervasive throughout the program. Creativity, the respect, all of that is part of what has lasted, that was part of the essence of the program in those early years.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine. There was CAMT, and they didn't really like CAP because they had other ideas about how you train people. And there was almost nothing. We were starting from nothing. There were pretty much no jobs. And gradually, bit by bit, this whole program and this whole field has grown. I became the coordinator a couple of years after it had begun. I guess Carolyn was first, then Nancy. Nancy took a leave of absence. And we needed somebody to do the job for a year, and so I kind of volunteered. I should have noticed that nobody else volunteered. Somebody wanted to get prepared. That might have been an idea, looking back on it. My time as the coordinator, which stretched out for about 5 years, I guess, it was chaotic. We didn't have enough students, we didn't have enough jobs, instruments, practicums, supervisors, you name it.
Our budget, every year the budget was cut by 20% for
Yeah.
the training programs.
Yeah, when I became the coordinator, the dean told me that they were going to cut the program in half at that time, and that was a great way to start out. But at the end of the 5 years, the program really had a lot of solidity, and we'd become separate from the music program or the university transfer program
And the
commercial music
commercial.
program.
Yeah.
And so it really became a much more focused program on the music therapy side and on being a professional, in which you really were looking for a job, and there really were jobs that were becoming available. So that was a real big piece of work, and then you took over.
Well, it started to be very clear that we needed to be a degree program. And we were the only music therapy training program for 9 years in the country. And then UQAM was created, and then very soon thereafter, Laurier was created. So at the university. So it was really paramount that we find a way to have a degree for our grads rather than a diploma. And so we explored a new arrangement that was coming about with the BC Open University, where you could do a collaborative degree. They would offer the degree because they were degree granting in collaboration with a number of community colleges that had niche programs that were needing to have the recognition and the depth of having a degree program. So this happened soon after Emily Carr. We were the second degree granting arrangement through the BC Open University. So that collaborative degree lasted for a few years until when Stephen became coordinator, that our degree program was repatriated to Capilano, and CAP became degree granting unto itself, and now most of us, I know in our community, have a full degree from Capilano University. So that's one of the huge changes.
Yep.
from
I
the
think
start.
for me, a lot of that wonderfulness from the very start is still in the program.
Yeah.
That excitement people feel, and it's tempered now because you don't spend all your time improvising, because there are so many books and studies and other material that you've got to study as a regular sort of program that it really wasn't when we were in there. So it's come a long way. It's come a great long way, and
Yeah.
we're super happy looking at what's happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thumbs up, everybody.
Yes, congratulations. Here's to endless number of years in advance.
Another
All the
45.
best.
My goodness, that was so great, wasn't it? And now we know the history of the coordinators. That's a really important history, just said right there. So thank you, coordinators. Thank you, coordinators, have taken that on over the years. All right, we're going to move along.